Hey everyone, welcome to Dad's Turn to Talk. As you can see, we have a brand new intro, which is really cool. My name is Josh. I will be the moderator tonight, and I'm here with my two best buddies that, what can I say, are really good friends sometimes and can hear somebody, you know, give their opinion on stuff when you're having a down day, but we're going to have a really good show tonight. Let's start out with Bobo. Bob, how's it going, my friend?
Huh? I don't know that.
No, I'm doing good. So what can I say? I'm looking forward to tonight. Lots of fun stuff to talk about.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And my next buddy, the one and only Derrico. Derek, what's going on, my man?
Let's see. I have birthday season happening in my house right now. My wife's is on Monday. My oldest is this Thursday. And then I'm at the end of the month, and then my youngest is
27th.
Like early September. So I'm not going to know really what my name is probably for this month. So if that's okay, then I think we should be fine here.
It's just crazy how time flies. Like you're turning 44. Like
I didn't need to be reminded of that. Okay, now that you've done this,
hey, you know what? It's fine. We're all turning 44.
Jeez, man,
we're all getting old. All right, guys.
I can't wait for your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, we have a really fun show tonight. Why don't we get started with topic number one?
Well, before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe out there. Also, for those that are interested in specific topics, we do have the topics timestamped. Just go to the description below. They'll be there for you. But we obviously hope that you'll watch the full show, but they are timestamped for you.
Nice. Awesome. All right. So topic number one, which has done really well at the box office, Deadpool and Wolverine. I saw it on Thursday night. So did Bob. Derek has not seen it yet, but he has given permission.
Derek, you haven't seen it?
No.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie. You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie.
One of Derek's favorite movies, but not top five.
That one always works. That's a good one.
So anyway, yeah. So we saw the movie. We wanted to, kind of talk about it because, as you know, we've been kind of tough about Marvel lately. And Bob, why don't you lead us off? What did you think of it?
First off, we'll do this without spoilers. Just some quick general impressions.
Okay.
I thought the movie was a blast. It was easily carried by the two actors because story-wise, I think this was probably the weakest of the Deadpool films. Well, maybe not the weakest. It was about the same as Deadpool 2, but it is easily carried by its two lead actors who have fantastic chemistry together. They know their roles very well, and you could tell they're having a blast with this movie as a result. The audience has a blast. I think the cameos are great, and you knew there were going to be cameos because it's a multiverse movie. So overall, I can't really say anything bad about it. I mean, except, like I said, the story's probably the weakest, but I thought this was just an enjoyable film.
Okay. Derek, I know you haven't seen it. Have you heard anything out there at all?
I've heard a lot about what Bob was referring to in terms of Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together. Apparently, they're a heck of a duo. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing the most. And really, isn't that why you went to see this movie to begin with? You were looking forward to the interaction probably more than anything. So you paid for what you got, and that's good.
Got it. For me, I loved it. Oh, I was laughing in the movie. I thought it was just so good. It was a breath of fresh air. Yes, like both of you said, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were awesome together. Getting to see Wolverine in the yellow suit and Deadpool constantly reminding him of it. What else? Just so many good parts. We'll get to, some of the cameos as well. I really.
Do we know what it's done at the box office so far?
Yeah, let me get you a box office number while Josh goes on. So
keep on.
yeah. So anyway, the storyline, Bob said it was the weakest. I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed the whole movie. I still like the first Deadpool in terms of storyline. I thought that was very good. But definitely this was better than the second one. Just it was funny. Derek, you laugh your butt off. Yeah, what is it?
496 million worldwide, and that's not counting today.
Wow.
All right, so that's a heck of a weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, well, for its weekend, I think it finished just under 450 million.
Okay.
So that's a
that,
record. Right?
That's a pretty good.
They're projecting that by the end of next weekend, it'll go over $1 billion.
There you go.
Well, I want to see it again. I want to see it again. Did you see it again, Bob?
I'm actually going tomorrow to see it again.
Nice. Oh, are you? So nice. So good. All right. Do you want to talk some spoilers about it? Go a little
Absolutely.
Further?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
So good.
That's right. We're going to get into some spoilers. So.
All right. So yes, we are going to talk about spoilers on this movie. If you haven't seen it yet, you can come back to our video and watch. But Bobo, go ahead. Let's start.
Well, some of the things that I enjoyed, like I already mentioned, the cameos. So some of the ones that were my favorite. Well, first off, let me start by saying pretty much all of the cameos are by characters that appeared in other franchises other than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So these are characters that appeared in the Fox movies or appeared in one case, New Line Cinema. So you actually see Wesley Snipes show up as Blade. I thought that was really cool.
Theater went nuts.
You see Jennifer Garner show up as Elektra, which I thought was really cool. And what made it funny is that they actually tell a joke about Daredevil having died, and they're referring to the Ben Affleck Daredevil, and she just kind of throws it off like, don't worry about it, and you could tell the joke was not just a hit at the Ben Affleck Daredevil, but was a joke because the ex-wife was talking about her ex-husband.
Yes.
So there was an inside joke there. You saw X-23 from Logan show up.
Nice.
But the best cameo, there was also Chris Evans showed up as Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four.
It was so everyone went,
and everybody thought he was going to be Captain America, and you have Deadpool behind him. And he's like, oh my God, he's going to say it. He's going to say Avengers. And all of a sudden he's about to say assemble. And you hear Johnny Storm, fly on. So good. So, but the best cameo easily was Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yes.
And
nice.
Because that was a movie that had been in production for so long that it never finally happened. And he was there. This to me was the best cameo. Was it because he gave a great performance as Gambit? Not really, because his dialect was bad. But I think that was the point. They were just having fun with it. So the cameos were great in this movie. Also, I thought the opening sequence was absolutely hilarious.
I laughed so hard.
So yeah, what's his name? Deadpool has to go and get Wolverine, and the Wolverine from his universe was Logan from the X-Men film. So he goes to Logan's grave and he starts digging, because he's like, oh well, he'll come back to life because of his healing factor. And then it's just a bunch of bones there that are left. He's like, okay, you really are dead. And it breaks into this whole sequence where the Time Variance Authority shows up to try to capture Deadpool, and he's fighting with the bits and pieces of Wolverine's skeleton, using them as weapons, and he's dancing around to NSYNC's "Bye Bye Bye."
And he's doing the dance. He's
doing the moves. So it's got to be one of the coolest openings in any Marvel movie. So those were some of the things that I really enjoyed about it. And like I said, the two actors had great chemistry. and I'll let you go into this one because I know you really liked this, Josh, as much as I did. But seeing Wolverine in a comic accurate costume was awesome.
Oh, that was awesome. We got, I don't know if I heard, because did you mention the Hulk?
No, I didn't.
So we got to see Hulk, like literally Wolverine is ready to fight, and Deadpool is like saying something, and then the Hulk appears, but you don't see his face. So we don't know which Hulk it is. By the way, Bob, someone posted on TikTok today. I think it was Ruffalo's.
Somebody had said that it was Edward Norton's, but I don't think it's really relevant because at the point of that whole scene, as he's going around, because what's happening, Derek, is he's going around trying to find a Wolverine to replace the dead one.
Yes.
And so he's going through all these different timelines to try to find one. And every single one that he's going to is from a comic book cover. So everything's supposed to be represented. There is a comic book cover, and he keeps getting his butt whipped by Wolverine at every one that he goes to because they start beating the snot out of him. But yeah, in there you see Wolverine in the red and the brown, and he's getting ready to fight against the Hulk. So
yeah, and then you don't see the Hulk. He like pushes Deadpool away. One of the best parts, though, Henry Cavill as Wolverine, and Deadpool yells out. He goes, "Don't worry, if you come over to us, we'll treat you better than those guys down the streets."
What makes it funny, because as he's walking up to him, he sees all the muscles and everything, because he's walking up to him from behind, and he's like, from behind you look a little bit like Henry, and all of a sudden he turns around, it's Henry Cavill, and he's like, holy, and he's like, let me just say this for everybody, this feels so right. And he's got the Wolverine hair and everything, so
that's hilarious.
Really cool.
God, the stuff that came out of his mouth. I mean, we can't say it here, but it was so good. What else did they have, Bob? That let's see, besides the cameos.
Oh yeah, well, some of the other cameos they had, they had Sabretooth show up. They had
I didn't think they treated Sabretooth that great.
They had Azazel from X-Men First Class.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah.
They had Lady Deathstrike was there.
Yeah. They had Charles Xavier's twin sister. You remember her, Derek? Like for some reason,
very not. She didn't really stand out to me. I know Charles Xavier had one. That was it.
Okay.
So yeah, you had I wouldn't even consider her as a cameo because she was actually the villain.
Right.
So yeah, there was a lot of cameos. There were you had Lady Deadpool, of course, show up.
It would have been hysterical if the Hulk he was fighting was Eric Bana.
That would have been funny. That would have been funny. Everyone thinks Lady Deadpool was either Taylor Swift or Blake Lively.
I think it was Blake Lively.
That's who I think.
Yeah.
There is a rumor that it's Scarlett Johansson too, by the way.
Nah, it wasn't Scarlett
Ryan
Johansson.
Reynolds was married to.
No, not from The Voice. It had to have been Blake Lively.
What was there were you got to see it. It's so good. You think to yourself, how can Marvel do this great? And other stuff, not so much.
Well,
go ahead, Derek.
I was just going to say, because Ryan Reynolds has such control over that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what writers come on set. He's going to have final say with it at the end of the day. And he has a very clear vision, obviously, as to how he wants those movies to go.
Right. Yeah.
It was cool because he took a lot of shots at the MCU too.
Oh yeah.
At one point, he's got Wolverine, and he goes into the Time Variance Authority, and he kind of brings him in there, and tells him, "Welcome to the MCU," but we're coming in at a low point right now. So.
Oh, he's so odd.
That's what Deadpool is supposed to do. Like, even in the comic books, he makes fun of himself in a comic book, which he's making fun of himself in a movie, which is also hysterical. That's great about the comics.
But a lot of people thought this was going to be a film that kind of pushed them all into the MCU, except for the Time Variance Authority. To be honest with you, this didn't feel like an MCU film to me. It felt very much like the end of the Fox films.
Oh yeah,
That's what it felt like to me, especially because at the end they do this whole or during the end credits they do this whole thing where they've got all these behind the scenes clips and stuff showing from the Fox films, and I thought that was really cool, and it to me was a swan song to those films. So I felt like the franchise got a little bit of closure.
Nice. That sounds like a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I am planning on seeing it on Sunday. So
it's definitely worth seeing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've already let the missus know that I'm going to be very reserved this weekend. I'm going to do some honey-do list stuff on Friday night and Saturday, and then Saturday night I'm off through Sunday afternoon.
Nice.
There we go.
Yep.
Well, anything else about this awesome movie?
I don't think so. I mean, I like I said, I think it's worth seeing. What I'm curious to see is obviously what the final box office numbers are going to be, which I think are going to be really high. I do think this will be the highest grossing film of the year.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to be close between that and Inside Out too. I do think it's going to be close, but I think this one will top it. What I'm curious to see is a year from now, how do people feel about this? Because this didn't really offer anything new to the MCU, like I said, even though it's supposedly an MCU film. It doesn't really offer anything that advances the MCU. Where, say, Spider-Man No Way Home, another multiverse movie, it did advance the story. And so I'm curious to see if a year from now we're still talking about it the way that we're still talking about Spider-Man No Way Home 3 years later. So
it could go one of two ways. I mean, if it was closure, then it's done.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I just don't think that people are going to look back at this one the same way they look at Spider-Man No Way Home. Again, I don't think it's necessarily because it's a bad film or anything like that. I really, really enjoyed it. I had fun, but because I don't think it does anything to advance the MCU storyline, I don't think people will look back at it the same way that they say look at No Way Home.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn between that because I think people will always watch it because of this. You know, everyone, like Derek said, wanted Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together. And plus you've got Hugh Jackman in the traditional Wolverine suit. I think it's going to stand time. I don't think it's a year from now, 5 years from now. I think people will love to keep watching it.
We'll see.
Those haven't left each other's side for like 3 weeks. They've been everywhere together.
Yeah, I know they have.
Yep.
They have. But yeah, what a great movie. Great movie.
Nice.
Bravo to Marvel on that one. But now for our next topic.
All right.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, God. So,
Don't act like you're not excited for a little bit of this, Josh.
no, I am confused. So, as you know, everyone, we had Comic-Con in San Diego this past weekend. And, you know, you basically get a lot of surprises. And
That are Josh's fault.
Huh? What'd you say?
They're your fault.
Of course.
Your fault.
It's pretty. I want everyone to know. I was at a concert and my phone started lighting up, and my two buddies over here, I actually laughed because they are blaming me for this, even though I had nothing to do with it.
It's your fault because you kept whining about it, and they gave you what you wanted.
So at Hall H, they had Kevin Feige was there, and he talks about how we have 2 Avenger movies coming up. One of them's Avengers Secret Wars, and the other was Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
In all green. And then introduces the directors, the Russo brothers. Everyone's like, yes, cool, they're back. Then all of a sudden, there's a bunch of Dr. Dooms lined up, and they kind of like spread out, and another Dr. Doom comes in, all green, takes the mask off, and who do we have? Robert Downey Jr. Yes, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday.
Crap, mega crap.
Yep,
Exactly.
that all day. All
So,
day that.
Gentlemen, why don't we start off with, Comic-Con and the shocking thing? You know what? We're going to start Derek first, and then we'll have the icing on the cake with Bob. Go for it, Derek. What do you think of this?
Enjoy.
I said I wanted him as Iron Man, and I wanted Dr. Doom. I didn't want him playing Dr. Doom.
I want
Well,
a party. I want a cookie. I want to stay up.
You see, you interrupt Derek in the middle of the thing, and you interrupt him.
You should have seen it, Josh. I want Dr. Doom. I want Robert Downey
I want a
Jr.
party. I want a cookie. I want to stay up.
Boy, was I oh God.
In that movie, Captain Hook also gives the little girl an F.
Yes. I almost took that clip because Josh was always saying, that's an F.
Look, this isn't going to solve anything. This is, if anything, this is going to put a bad stain on it. Didn't we have this conversation last week about how you don't take beloved characters and put them in a bad light?
Yep.
Well, what's this?
This is them grasping at straws.
It's desperation.
Yeah, that's what it is. It
Putting
reeks.
butts in the seats. Putting butts in the seats.
That's all it'll do.
That's all it's going to do. It's not going to further the story. Okay, go ahead, Derek. Keep going. You have nothing more to
I mean,
say.
what else is there to say here? Like they're trying to do anything they possibly can to get these Avengers movies back to the popularity that they once had, but they've gone so far down this other weird path that's pretty much insolvable at this point. I mean, unless they take our approach or mine where they take a break for like a while, but that's not going to happen, obviously.
No.
So this was their only response as to how they thought they could fix it, was to get Robert Downey Jr. back as a bad guy. That's totally uncreative and unproductive. And am I going to see it? Yeah, I'll see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll admit that. I'll see it. But no, I'm not going to like it at all.
Biggest heel turn in the world.
Stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what they were
Stone
thinking.
Cold Steve Austin tried to turn heel. Look how well that worked.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, Bob, what do you think?
Like I said, this is desperation.
Are you gonna watch it?
Okay. Well, of course I'm going to watch it, but we got a YouTube show. Of course we're going to watch it. When are you going to get that through your head?
That's right.
You know what this is, right? Do you know where you are right now, Josh?
What?
No. No, you don't. Okay, never mind.
Do we know where we are? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, long
All
day.
right. So essentially what I think is, they had to pivot. The Kang dynasty wasn't working out, and then they lost their actor.
Yeah.
And I mean, they could have just recasted him, but they saw that as the opportunity to go ahead and pivot because it wasn't connecting with people the way that they had hoped that it would.
Correct.
So what do? They turn around and they're going to jangle those keys in front of us and say, look, you remember, you like Robert Downey Jr. Here he is. Look, here he is. And they're like, oh, the Russos, you liked their movies, right? Right. Yeah. And we're still going to do a multiverse story because he's not going to be, I doubt he's playing Victor Von Doom, the Victor Von Doom we all know. Most likely he's playing a Tony Stark variant who is going to be Victor Von Doom in his universe, but it will be a Tony Stark variant.
Look at him. Would you just look at him?
Yeah, to me, it just feels like desperation. Now, I do want to reserve judgment. Despite some of the jokes I've thrown up already. Maybe I'll be wrong. I've been wrong before. So if I am, I'll admit it. But I just don't see how this helps the Marvel Universe. To me, I think this doesn't really solve the problems. Now, I do like the fact that the Russos are back to direct the 2 films.
Right.
That I do like. But the casting choice itself, to me, it just feels like desperation. And that Secret Wars is just going to be loaded with more cameos and stuff. And this is kind of the problem that I think they're going to, or this is a problem with Deadpool and Wolverine, is the lesson that Marvel's going to take away from it. They're going to be like, oh, people just want cameos. We'll just throw cameos in there, and that'll do everything. Yeah, at the end of the day, though, you still got to tell a compelling story, and your actors got to have good chemistry. And we all know Robert Downey Jr. is a fantastic actor, but
Right.
I just don't know if this is the right role for him, especially because he's so beloved as Iron Man. Like you said, Josh, I'm just joking around with you about this being your fault. No, I'm not. But you wanted to see him back as Iron Man. You don't want to see him back as Dr. Doom.
No.
You want to see him as Iron Man. And you want to see the Victor Von Doom that we all know. I mean, Cillian Murphy's sitting out there. Why weren't they on the phone with him? Well, maybe they were. Maybe he said no.
No, he wants to play him.
So there you go.
He wants to play him. He would have been awesome.
Oh, and that's another thing. So I was hearing somebody talking about the type of money that Robert Downey Jr. is going to make for this thing.
Yeah,
it's some insane amount. I don't remember the dollar figure, but it's a real large amount, and that goes into the budget of these films.
Yeah,
and the thing is that you may save on some of the other actors because we don't exactly have like the whole full team of Avengers, like Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson and all of them. So you could probably save on them, but still bringing him back, you're going to take a hit on your budget.
What is Secret Wars about?
I'll let you answer that one, Derek.
I think Secret Wars is about the Skrulls, if I'm not mistaken. It's like the shapeshifter
really?
folks.
Yeah,
It might have been.
Yeah.
But I think they already did that with Secret Invasion, so I'm sure they're going to take it a different direction.
I think it has something to do with that. I don't know where else it goes after that, but I think that links up to it somehow.
I mean,
because how are they going to build? I was going to get into this next, but I guess you know what, we could kind of combine this if you guys don't mind. Fantastic Four.
Okay, hold on real quick, Josh, before you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so the basic premise involves the collision, or what is referred to as an interdimensional incursion of the Marvel 616 universe with the Ultimate Marvel 1610 universe, which destroys both. Pieces of the two universes are mysteriously saved and combined with other post-collision universes. So they're probably going to use that as a way to bring everybody together, because you just mentioned Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is supposed to take place in a different universe.
Right, exactly. It's supposed to take place in a different universe. Derek, did you see the footage? I know Bob did. I loved it. I thought the footage was excellent. Bobby liked it too. He'll talk about it in a minute. But
okay, but I got to point out, I liked the footage, but they barely started filming today. They announced today that they barely started filming. So I think some of that stuff might be in the film, but I think it was done initially for promotional stuff.
Oh.
So,
okay.
So
maybe
go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
No, sorry, just real quick. Maybe Robert Downey Jr. is Doom, and that there's got to be something because what else are they going to do to build this up to Avengers Doomsday? There's nothing coming out. Right?
Well, you've got the Thunderbolts, which are supposed to have a role in it. Of course, Captain America. I'm sorry, Captain Falcon.
Aren't they going to ruin the Silver Surfer before that?
What's that?
Aren't they going to ruin the Silver Surfer before that?
Well, yeah, probably in Fantastic Four, I'm sure. Because
Galactus looks awesome if that's what he's going to look like.
Yeah, I will say the Galactus look good, at least from the footage they showed. But again, I think that's promotional footage because again, they barely announced that they started filming today. So that stuff they either got ready just for Comic-Con or maybe it will find its way into the film. But I think it was stuff that they prepped for Comic-Con.
Interesting.
I'll tell you what's going to happen with this movie.
Yeah, go for it.
It's going to be like all the rest of them. Every time they've tried this, they've struck out. This one isn't going to be any different.
Yeah.
So enjoy the footage, even though there's that much of it right now from what it sounds like.
The 2015 one?
Yeah, I did. That one was.
Oh, God, how bad. Bob has not seen it. Okay, that one. No, Lisa and I went to the movies.
I've seen parts of it.
We had heard like bad reviews, right, Derek?
Yeah.
Like to start, I thought it was okay. But then they got their powers and it became an 80s cheese fest. Like it was so bad.
No, okay, so you said it was okay to start, but that was the other part I had a problem with. I'm just like, get on with it. Come on.
Yeah, well, it took what, like an hour?
Yes.
An hour before they got their powers.
Yes.
Bob,
you know we're here. Come on.
Bob needs to see it. He'll love it.
Oh yeah, it just the way you two are talking about it, I can't wait to watch it.
What you loved Dark Phoenix?
No, I didn't love Dark Phoenix. I just said I didn't hate it the way you two did, and that's because of you two, my expectations had dropped so low that all they had to do was put a sentence together, and I was gonna think that it was a decent film because the way you all made it sound, it just made it sound like it was a completely incompetent film. Now, I'm not saying that it was a great film, but no, it's easily one of the worst X-Men films, if not the worst. Yeah. But
it's up there with Dark Phoenix with X.
But I would argue that it's better than a lot of the stuff that's come out from Marvel Phase 4.
No, it's still bad. It was on the.
Also, you're telling me that it's worse than Eternals?
Oh God, no! Did you hear they're not making an Eternals 2? What a surprise!
Thank God.
Well, I was about to say you did us a favor. We appreciate that.
No, they pivoted from that one, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I understand they're finally going to address the giant celestial sticking out of the ocean.
In what?
I think they're going to do it in Captain America.
Please don't.
What I'm hearing is that that's going to be the source of adamantium.
Oh God. Oh yeah.
I don't know what to do. Never mind. Never mind.
Derek, did you see Derek down there?
I don't like it. Make me feel all funny.
Make the pain.
He's like, I don't like it.
Oh my God. I don't know.
Funny.
It's like what Kevin Feige comes out with good stuff and then he comes out with bad stuff. I don't get what he.
I mean, he obviously must have. Well, okay, there were some things that happened after Endgame that I've also heard about that it went past writing. Disney got notoriously cheap too on just about everything, so that factors into this as well. You know, the leadership. You know, Kevin Feige. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. said, you know, he'll always trust in what Kevin Feige does.
Right.
But okay, if it's not him, then who is this? Because none of this is working. So
yeah,
someone's got to be responsible here.
Well, it's like they've made so many mistakes. Like even, you know, we talk about Secret Invasion, and here we had at the end. You're telling me this one girl is the strongest of them all, and it makes our Falcon and Winter Soldier. Knowing that was great, and they kill her off.
She was. I mean, she like honestly like they did some great stuff in the earlier episodes of that show.
Yeah.
They really did some interesting stuff with that villain, but then it all went belly up. Boom, done.
Yeah. So, okay, so we talked about that. We talked about Fantastic Four. We'll see what happens. There's got to be something with Robert Downey in that. It's the only thing that makes sense. Let's talk about DC a little bit, gentlemen. Thank you.
Do you sure?
Let's do the good and then the bad. Well, the good is the Penguin movie. They showed the trailer.
It's the show, right? It's a show.
Show, sorry.
But they did announce that the Penguin will be back for the next Batman movie. So
interesting. Okay.
That looks good.
Bob, what do you think about the trailer?
Thought it looked great. But I've liked all the trailers that they brought out. This was the third trailer. And so far, I've liked every single one of them. It looks like a mob show. And Colin Farrell, he's unrecognizable as the Penguin. They did a great job with his makeup, and he does a great job in the role. So I'm excited to see where this story goes, because it's supposed to pick up not too long after Gotham was flooded in the Batman. And so, there's this rush or everybody's trying to rush to take over. And so, he's throwing his lot in, trying to take over. And of course, Carmine Falcone's daughter shows up and throws a wrench into everything. So it looks.
Right? He was in Arkham.
That's what they said in the trailer. But yeah, it looks pretty good. This is one that I'm excited about. And Max tends to have pretty good shows for the most part.
Yeah.
So this is one I'm looking forward to.
Okay, Derek, what do you think?
I'm with Bob on this. There's nothing about this show that looks bad. I'm enticed. This looks awesome. Again, Colin Farrell, who, to Bob's point, honestly, if you hadn't even told me it was him, and like if you had waited until the very end to tell me that was him, I would not have believed you. I would easily have just said you are full of BS, sir. But boy, they did an amazing job with the way they made him look. He is, I think, criminally underrated in terms of an actor. So, he's done stuff that's just like, ugh. But when he gets a role down and he does well at it, he hits it out of the park. He can be really, really good. I think he's going to be excellent in this.
Did you like him as Bullseye in Daredevil? It was bad. Where he's like, Bullseye.
Yeah, that whole movie was rough. The only thing that was good was the Kingpin.
Kingpin?
The Kingpin and Daredevil, or in the Ben Affleck Daredevil was good. Actually, I thought the director's cut of Daredevil wasn't too bad because it was darker and it was a rated R version. So that one was actually kind of decent. It showed more of him in the courtroom as well. So that I thought was okay. Now, I'm not saying it was great, but it was better than the theatrical cut.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Duly noted. I'm excited for the show. I think it's going to be really, really good. And people have been waiting a while for this one. There's been a lot of anticipation, a lot of hype. So I'm excited for it. We'll be watching. Let's make sure we get a review.
We're going to do that. We'll watch that one and talk about it.
It comes out September 19th. Comes out, I think, my mom's birthday.
Something like that.
I thought it looked great. I really did. I love the beginning where he's dancing with his mother because it's very similar to Gotham. I was a big Gotham fan. I think, like you guys said, it's a mobster show, with Carmine being dead. Now, refresh my memory. Salvatore Maroni is in prison, right?
Yeah, that was my understanding. Something just hit me. Don't mean to change the subject here, but something just hit me. Agatha also comes out in September, so you're gonna have a Marvel show and a DC show going up against each other.
Oh, I gotta watch Agatha over Penguin.
They're not gonna go head to head exactly on the same date or same day, but you will see comparisons. You'll see comparisons in the ratings of the two. So I'm predicting that the Penguin is gonna slaughter Agatha.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, can you take a guess which one I think I'm going to be leading toward?
Yeah. But I'm curious if Maroney gets out of jail and, if they follow that with him being the new crime boss.
We'll
Well, you
see.
got to watch.
What's that?
That's why you got to watch.
Yep, gotta watch.
Yep.
All right, and then I don't know. We talked about other stuff.
Hold on, we're still on DC.
No, I know. I was going to mention.
Did you watch the trailer for Creature Commandos?
No.
Okay, that looked okay. I mean, that's supposed to be the first project that James Gunn has coming out from the DC universe, and it's an animated show. That looks like it might be okay. I'm not saying that it's going to be great, but I was intrigued from the trailer.
Okay.
Give it a watch.
I was going to mention what's coming out this week, the Batman. But I didn't know if they covered, because I think one of the news that came out, oh God, was that the Penguin is no longer a man.
We got to show a picture of this.
Oswalda Cobblepot, played by Minnie Driver. Like, are you kidding me? Really? Like, makes no sense.
Let's let Bob show the
So
photo.
excited to watch
it. Yeah. Keep going. I'll find it.
I was so excited to watch it, Derek, and now probably not going to watch it. No. What do you think?
All right. I'm going to try to make this as not long-winded as possible.
Okay.
I now have a theory that we talked about this before previously on the program, where the writers cater to one sliver of an audience, right?
Yep.
Like they did maybe an Acolyte or whatever the pick your show. You know what we're talking about.
Right.
Have they? Oh, there it is.
Oh, God. Oh. God. Why? Like, do you think that's
Yeah, I mean, Bob's got the right idea. What else are we supposed to do with this? Like,
oh my God. Looks like Estelle.
That's absolutely where JK can show up.
Ugh. What can I say?
Like B. Arthur.
So, we've talked about how they cater to a sliver of the audience, but now I am of the impression that they are that sliver of the audience who's writing this. Because if there's really no other explanation for this than that, right?
Right.
So,
oh, Lord,
the very people that they are trying to cater to, they are members of themselves. That's the only thing I can gauge to make sense out of any of this. And what's going to happen is they're going to put this out. They're going to get not great feedback about it. And then the labels are going to come onto the audience that you're an is this or an is that, whatever, your flavor will be. And round we go again.
Yep.
And it'll just keep cycling and cycling and cycling like this. It's the very definition of insanity. And
what's your thoughts?
Go ahead.
That looks terrible. That's all.
Yeah,
I mean, that looks terrible. Okay, so here's the thing. The trailer for the actual show itself and the clips that have come out actually look kind of good. So the show looks like it's going to be fine. But like what Derek said, you're going to put something like that on screen. You're going to get the comic purists that are going to be like, why? Why would you do this?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the defenders of it will be, it's just a cartoon character. It's just a comic book character. Why are you making such a big deal of it? It's like, okay, you're right. It is just a comic book character. So if it's not a big deal, why change it?
Yeah.
Why change it?
Yep.
The only reason you wanted to change it is because there was messaging involved, and maybe they wanted to have some more female characters in the show. And so they decided to make one of the villains female, and so they gender swapped the Penguin.
You
But
don't have to. You have Catwoman. You have Poison Ivy.
I know you got some
Harley
great.
Quinn. Come on.
You got some great characters in the Rogues Gallery. You've got plenty to check off your boxes that you're looking to check off. So why do this? There was a specific reason for it, and that's what I'm wanting to see when the show comes out. What was the reason for it? Because that looks terrible.
Yeah, they wanted to make a statement.
Yeah,
they wanted to make a statement.
So do we watch it and skip that episode?
Well, I don't know. It depends how the show runs. I mean, it depends how the show is written. I don't know if
might
we
be
can
the first episode.
Yeah, number one.
I'm the Penguin.
So here's the other thing. When you make statements like this, Bob and I were talking about this earlier this week. I can understand this to a certain degree, not to this extent, but I can understand it to a certain degree for the Comic-Con folks, because a lot of these folks probably are, let's face it, probably very liberal, probably very blue.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that one way or the other. It's nice to probably see some type of feeling that you are included within these shows because you are big fans. I can appreciate that to a certain extent. But what this has to do specifically with only making that statement. And when you do that, you're not just talking about yourselves anymore. You're bringing in other people with this. And they have freedom of speech, they have freedom of expression. They can do whatever they want, but so do we. And when we get to critique this and criticize this, they can't get mad about that now. They can't get upset. So they have to be prepared for the backlash. And look, I'm sure it's not fun when you get told what you made was garbage, but at the same time, if it were me and I made something that was garbage, I'd be like, okay, I got to rethink this. Maybe I got to try something else and look at it yourself rather than, it's everybody else that's the issue. That's not how you solve something like this. So to Bob's point, this may very well just only be like one episode and then, the rest is going to be good. So if that's the case, it's not the end of the world, but
they announced it on Comic-Con and it's coming out this week.
I know.
Like Bob and I had a conversation the other day, Derek, about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
And how the first time the trailer was released, Sonic looked horrible.
Yeah.
And the director listened and said, okay, we're going to fix it.
Yeah.
This time, there's no fixing it.
No.
You're 5 days out.
Yeah,
so
you can't.
It's like they waited till now so they wouldn't have to fix it.
Then you automatically set yourself up for failure. I don't know what else to tell you.
Here's what's frustrating. So this is coming out. The key creator behind this is Bruce Timm,
right? Who did Batman the Animated
Series. So if you wanted to add another female character, create one.
Yeah,
they did that in the Batman the Animated Series by creating Harley Quinn. That's where she started.
That was where she started
in the animated series.
Yeah.
So instead of taking a classically male character and switching them, just so you can make a statement, create a brand new character that Batman has to fight against. Yeah. Because you know what? If you do that character right, we'll accept them. Harley Quinn became an accepted character because of the way she was done in the show.
More than accepted, beloved.
Yeah, exactly. She's a great character. And I feel sorry for her because, the Joker always treats her like crap. And and she's always, hey, Mr. J, I can't wait to see you. And
my boss prefers it when I wear a smile to work.
And it's hilarious because she swears he's in love with her and he's ready to smack her upside the head or like he would easily leave her to hanging and let her take the fall for him.
Oh yeah,
which is why I don't like what they've done in some of the other versions where they make it like he's absolutely in love with her and he'll come back to find her, like in the Suicide Squad movie where he came back to help get her out of jail.
That's not the way it works.
No, he'd leave her there, and then when she showed up, he'd be like, "Holly, you're back."
thought I'd never see you again.
Exactly.
Like that, Bobby sounded like James Brown.
Brown. Well, maybe this will be good then. I mean, if Bruce Timm did this, then
No,
still
that's
worth
what
giving it a fair shot.
right away. I was like, okay, I'm not watching it now, but it's like Bruce Timm, Bobby's all-time favorite director, J.J. Abrams, is doing this. Oh, he's a producer. He's fine. He's really good. He did The Force Awakens.
See, Josh doesn't seem to get it when I say I think JJ's a good director. I don't think he's a good writer.
I get it.
He's the type. Oh, Josh, shut up.
Shush.
What I think that he is I think he's kind of like a Zack Snyder, where he does well directing other people's stuff, like with Watchmen, where he did, or 300 stuff that was already adapted that somebody else already wrote, as opposed to doing, say, like Rebel Moon, which was awful. And JJ, I think that he's done well, like with Mission Impossible, some of these other stuff that he did, but then the stuff that he wrote or got involved in the creative process, that's where I think that he suffers. So in this particular case, Abrams is a producer, so I don't know how much behind the creative that he is. If he's behind the creative, then yeah, it's gonna have some problems because he has shown a track record that he's not that great when it comes to the creative. But from the technical side is where I think that he's a decent director.
Didn't J.J. Abrams do the new Star Trek movies?
I liked the first Star Trek movie. I didn't particularly like the second one.
I did like the first one. I'll admit.
It
was good.
I liked Mission Impossible. So he's got some stuff out there that has been pretty good, but he's also got some stuff like the Star Wars movies that
is an awesome.
Gosh, yeah.
Right.
Huh.
All right.
I want to root for it. I don't want to just. It's bad to just focus on this one particular thing.
Well, I'll watch it probably.
We all will. I mean, I want to. It's important to give this a shot. It really, really is. So,
yeah.
But it does look terrible.
That one piece, yeah.
That big one looks terrible. I'm sorry.
What's going to be? Hello, darling.
Oh.
Are you ready for a fight?
She's gonna have that smoker's voice.
Did you ever? Yeah, I remember.
How do you like my suit?
Robin Williams did that. He said, "Imagine going to Disneyland and seeing Snow White behind a tree smoking a cigarette." Hello, darling.
I mean, who's voicing it? Minnie Driver, right?
Minnie Driver, yeah.
Yeah, maybe she'll do fine. Maybe this will be okay.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm not entirely thrilled with it, but
like Bob said, I could be surprised. Okay, if it's not bad, I'll be the first to admit it. Like you guys will.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, one last thing on DC, the logo review. I thought the logo looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Logo?
All back. You didn't see the logo?
No, I didn't see it.
Here, show him, Bob. See if he what he thinks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Derek.
That's not for this forum, Josh.
Okay.
You're laughing.
I know, that's an inside thing. Oh, here we go.
So they review. It's got the classic DC look.
Cool.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice. Thumbs up.
That's nice. They put a little paint on it. They had a little, drew a nice little compass circle. It looks nice.
No, I mean, I kind of like that it's a callback to the DC that we remember from like the 70s, 80s.
Old school.
Yeah. So I like that. Maybe that's kind of gives us an idea of where James Gunn's going with his Superman movie.
Could be.
I'm waiting for a trailer.
Actually, wait, hold on. That brings up the point. We may have talked about this, but I'm forgetting. That comes out next summer?
Yeah.
Next summer. Well, they just announced today that they wrapped filming.
Okay, so next summer. That means we're getting a trailer at the holidays.
You think so?
I'm sure we are.
I said November. When we
That's
did
what
the,
I'm thinking.
Pop
November,
Out
December.
That could easily be. That's the holiday season enough.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's coming out? Yeah, maybe like with Moana 2. I don't know,
Maybe.
but
Moana 2, yeah.
no, but that's Disney though. I don't know if they would. Do they do that still where they won't?
Well, the theaters, it's not as big of a deal.
It's not as big of a deal, and it's Superman is still Superman. There's something wholesome about Superman, so you can roll with that in Moana.
I know which movie it'll come out with.
What?
What's that?
Wicked.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's what I bet. If
One
it
of the
doesn't
big budget
come in
ones.
at Super Bowl. What?
That's one of the big budget ones, or it's going to come out with that weird rock Santa.
No.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking
No,
about.
I think it'll come out with Wicked.
Okay,
If it comes out before the Super Bowl, Wicked that's a good.
that's a
one
good
to come
guess.
out with.
All right, okay.
And then Bob, you wanted to kind of finish up about some other stuff at Comic-Con that you thought, other notable news that you thought was interesting. Go for it.
Yeah, just some stuff that popped up that I was kind of looking at. We've got more bad Star Trek coming out. They've got so apparently one of the Star Trek shows that they're going to be making the first ever live action or live comedy Star Trek show. So it's going to be a sitcom Star Trek show, or or maybe not a sitcom, but it's going to be a comedy. And I'm just like, I don't know. The premise is that there's like these people that are on this planet working or whatever, and then they find out that their lives are being filmed and broadcasted to the whole galaxy or whatever. I'm like, this sounds stupid. And then they had a trailer for another Star Trek movie that's a spinoff from Star Trek Discovery called Section 31. And I saw the trailer for that, and I was like, who is this made for? So we got more bad Star Trek coming out. We did see a trailer for Transformers 1, which actually I think the second trailer looked a lot better than the first one. So I was pleased with that trailer. And then Derek and I, we talked about this one, the Dexter prequel, as well as a sequel series. So they announced that the actor who played Dexter, he's coming back for the sequel series, but he's also going to be in the prequel show doing the inner voice of the young Dexter. And we got a trailer for that. So this looks like it could be interesting. As I mentioned to you, I've never really watched Dexter, but I understand what a huge following that had. So I did want to bring that out because
did you watch it, Derek?
It's worth noting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like from seasons 1 through 4, it hooks you real good. 5, 6,
it's
and
on my
7
list to watch.
Yeah, 5 and 6 kind of you're kind of like, ugh. But it's well done. You will enjoy it if you get started with it.
Was it on HBO or Showtime?
Was it Showtime? Wasn't it? It was Showtime.
Yeah, it was on Showtime initially.
Yeah.
Okay.
The actor's really good too. I cannot remember his name right now. Forgive me.
Isn't it Michael C. Hall?
Yes, I think that is it. He was in a show 6 Feet Under. Bob and I were talking about this on HBO. That's another great show.
Did you ever see Shameless, Derek?
Yes, I did see Shameless.
You did?
I saw like the first season.
Oh God, that show is so crazy. Oh my God.
That's the guy who's on The Bear now.
Yeah.
Good actor. Really, really good.
You ever see Shameless?
No.
That show, we would watch it and I'd be like, I can't see this anymore. And you would be hooked into the next week. It was that crazy.
Yeah. It's just dysfunctionality at its finest.
Oh my God. Oh God. So funny. You know the guy who was married to in the show Val, the tall guy, the funny Lisa saw him at the grocery store and went up to him and was like, I never do this, but my husband and I are big fans. And he goes, tell your husband I said hi.
Good one.
Yeah. All right. So some interesting stuff. Derek, do you have anything to add or?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely, I can't say I'm curious, but I want to see what's going to happen with that Star Trek comedy show. because I mean they try this with another, like, didn't Seth, what's his name?
Okay. You're thinking of the Orville. The Orville is actually good.
It was really good. I like that show.
The Orville's good.
Yeah.
The Orville is actually the closest to Star Trek that we've gotten since
Star Trek,
the last real Star Trek show. Well, that's not true. I did like Picard season 3. Picard season 3 was wow.
You had mentioned you had
Picard season 3 was good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Not sure about that Section 31 business, but
I know. Where are they gonna beam me up, Scotty? Beam me up, Scotty.
That's exactly what they're going to do, Josh.
Oh, here we go.
No.
Okay.
Just,
all right.
Shut up!
You've started to make me hate a beloved character.
Oh, you'll like him fine. Don't worry.
All right. So why don't we move on to our final subject of the evening?
Wrestling. Wrestling is good.
That's right. Wrestling. We have SummerSlam this Saturday night from Cleveland at the Cleveland Browns Stadium, First Energy Stadium, I believe. Big event. I don't know, guys. What do you think it's as big as normal, or I mean, the matches are good, but do you think the hype is there?
I mean, it's not like Mania hype. It never really has been, though. I think, I mean, obviously, it's anytime you do a stadium show, it's a big deal, and they've said that attendance is filled. So that's not a small stadium. I think that's like they fit in there like 78,000, something like that.
Yeah, around 72 or something.
Yeah. That's
depending on what they do at the show, this could easily be one of the best shows that they've done in
more on that later.
Long time, not counting WrestleMania, of course. Yeah. Or this could turn out to be just another average show. There's some potential here, depending on what happens.
Right. All right. Well, why don't we go over some of the matches? Maybe give quick predictions and see what we think. Why don't we? I'm just looking through my stuff here. You know what? Let's do this one. Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the U.S. title. Bob, you go ahead and lead us on.
I'm taking Knight. I think Logan Paul, I know everybody or the consensus is that he doesn't defend the title enough. And obviously so. He's not a wrestler by, his primary job. He's got his podcast. He's got all his other social media stuff. That's his primary job. The whole reason they put the title on him was because he's a pretty good heel and he has that social media persona, and it was an opportunity to draw some attention to the sport. That's the reason they put it on him, but I think his run is done.
Okay.
Yeah. How to get it in. So, point of order. I think they're actually trying to make SummerSlam a bigger event because in 2 years' time, that's going to 2 nights.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
2 years. Yeah.
I think you knew that one, Bobo.
Yeah, that was good. That was good timing. So they're going to do that. I believe that one's in Minnesota, the first time they're going to try that. So it's this year and next year that are still only one. But that's why I think they're going to try to hype it up.
Okay.
So that's just a little tidbit there. But I'm gonna say, the megastar takes it. I'm with Bob on this. The only reason I could see Logan retaining is because it is in Cleveland, and isn't that where Logan's from?
I think so.
Oh yeah.
So I could see him retaining, but only on that notion. But it would make more sense that it is LA Knight because unless they drag this out to Saudi Arabia, which I think that's too long to try to keep this going. But because after this, they got one show in Germany, then Bad Blood, and then Saudi Arabia, and then War Games, and that's a wrap. So I think it is going to be LA Knight, just because I don't think you can drag it out much further than this. It'll be good though. It'll be a fun match. I think it'll probably open it. If I had to.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, it seems like a good one to open. Why not?
I'm going to say LA Knight. As I was looking earlier, I'm like, yeah, I think Logan Paul, and we've all said it. God, can that guy wrestle? He can wrestle. He's shocked all of us.
He's a great heel on the
But
mic.
again,
He's still a great heel.
a great heel. It's like he needs to be around more.
Yeah.
It's like, how many times has he defended the U.S. title, Derek, since he won it?
Not many
Twice,
at all.
I think.
Like,
Is it just once?
Twice, I think, is what they
Oh,
said.
twice. Oh my
It-
God.
he, LA Knight, and plus, I think to further LA Knight's career, he needs to win this.
Yeah.
Because if
True.
he loses to Logan Paul, it's like, then what?
Good point. I could see. I will say this about Logan Paul: the fact that he doesn't defend that title all that much almost makes him a better heel. there's something that just works with that. I'm
True.
just gonna have this right here in my podcast. I'm not gonna defend it. You're just gonna look at it
He like takes a shower with it. He like
Yeah.
goes to the hotels with
with
it.
his prime bottles just right next to it.
Right. All right, let's you know what? Let's do God, most of them. Hold on a second.
They're pretty much all championship matches except one.
Yeah, they are. Except for
Night
one
of
of them.
Champions? Look at that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So let's do Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the IC title. Derico, go for it.
I was not thrilled with what happened the last time this match happened, and now they're going to have a chance to redeem themselves, and they better do what's right and put that belt on Braun.
Okay.
It's that they made Braun Breaker kind of look almost jokish to me at this point. And if they're going to make him look any type of serious, then do what's needed here.
What about you, Bob?
I'm going with Breaker also.
Okay.
Oh. Oh,
Can we have a little Scott Steiner, Bobo?
you see.
I'm going to agree with you guys again. I think Breaker needs to win. And God, if Sammy wins,
If Sammy wins, Breaker's done. He's just going to have to go away.
yeah, he'll have to get repackaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I think with that one. Could be an interesting match. All right, let's see. Next match, let's do women's let's do Bailey versus Nia Jax for the women's championship.
Ooh, okay. I got an idea on this one.
Ooh, you do? Okay. You know what, Bob? Let's hear it.
I think Nia Jax wins it, but watch Tiffany Stratton cash in.
Ooh.
I wouldn't doubt if she comes in, hits Nia Jax like over the head with the briefcase or something like that, and then cashes in and turns around and wins the title then.
What do you think, Derek?
I think Bob is very much onto something, but I don't think it happens at SummerSlam.
Okay.
I think Nia's going to win, and then they're going to do this little relationship, friendship thing between Nia and Tiffany. And when Nia least expects it, bam, with the briefcase, and then Tiffany will cash in. Because Tiffany's going to try to make her feel like, you know, she's on Nia's side. And then before you know it, you're not going to be looking. And then that's when it's going to be Tiffy time.
And you think maybe she goes on a face run with that?
That could go either way.
Who?
Now,
Tiffany?
yeah, I think Tiffany is getting ready to, when she wins that title, because I think it's pretty clear that they gave her that briefcase because they're going to put the strap on her. But if they do, when they do, I think next year in Vegas she's facing Charlotte. Now you could go either way with Tiffy being the heel and Charlotte being the face, or you could flip the script on that. We know Charlotte as a heel, and Tiffany's getting cheered, so it could go either way. I wouldn't be disappointed either way.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to go against my two buddies. I think Bailey retains.
Bailey retains, huh?
I think Bailey retains. I'm going to go against the norm. I don't know why.
You think Tiffany cashes in on Bailey then?
Yes, I could see that. Yeah,
Hmm.
I could see that. And Tiffany does not have a match, right?
No, she does not.
It could happen. Yeah, I could say that. All right. Interesting. So I'm trying to decide what I want to go next because I'm going to be honest with you. There's two matches that I think are absolutely bigger than what could be one of the main events. And so I think I'm going to go for this one. You guys can agree with me or not. I think let's cover Cody versus Solo.
Okay.
Because I don't know if I don't think that'll open the event, right?
Okay, here's my thought on this real quick.
Yeah.
If that is the main event,
yes,
then we're going to see Roman.
Right.
He
I agree
better
with
show back up.
If that's the main event,
Then that's Roman.
if it's not the main event, then I don't think we see Roman at SummerSlam.
Roman.
I don't know. Now I'm thinking he's going to come back, but then that means this has to be the main event because the end of the show would be Roman coming back.
They're going to play that. They're going to put that credit up, and you're going to think the show's over, and that's when that's going to hit.
God, that could be the biggest pop.
That's why I say this could be a huge pay-per-view if Roman comes back. But I don't think he comes back if that's not the main event. If it is the main event, then I think he comes back. I don't see him showing up and them not ending the show with Roman Reigns. Because no offense to Cody Rhodes. I mean, we all were excited to see him finish the story. But Roman Reigns he's still, the tribal chief when it comes to WWE. And he's still the biggest name right now, not counting The Rock, of course, when The Rock had his little brief run. But Roman, this is still his show. Now, The Rock just finished his movie, so he could show up too. I don't think he does for SummerSlam, though. No?
Yeah, he's not going to show up until it's playoff season, which means January. That's when he's going to show up. When that Netflix, when they move over there, you're going to see him there for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Taker said he'll probably. I heard something about Taker being on. Okay, so Babo, what do you think? Cody?
I think Cody wins.
Yeah,
I don't see Solo winning it.
No,
but if it's the main event, then I see him winning. But I see somehow Roman getting involved.
Yeah,
one way or another. But I do think Cody wins it. And we'll see where it goes because I just don't see Cody losing to Solo.
No, I don't either. Okay, Derek, go ahead.
Pretty much the same thoughts as Bob. I mean, even if Roman doesn't show up, do you see Cody really losing?
No,
especially when Bobby told us that Sika had lost 40 matches in a row. Like, you can't all of a sudden. It's like. I get it.
You know what, though? But here's the thing. He's the hottest heel in the company right now.
Yeah, I don't.
That's why they had him pin Cody, so that way.
Right. Derek, you and I always said, like, Monday nights, whoever got the advantage.
I don't know.
I don't know. What I think. I think Cody wins. And obviously they attack Cody afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman's music hits. And what I think would be cool is Jacob Fatu meets Roman in the middle of the aisleway, like a stare down. Wouldn't that be cool?
No physicality yet.
No?
You milk this for all it's worth. Have him just stare him down. And then while he's staring him down and they all just kind of leave, that's when he turns his head over and looks at Cody. And then he walks out.
Okay.
It's not like those two don't have unfinished business.
No, they don't. Is Paul Heyman with him?
I hope so.
I think he is.
Yeah. You can't not. Like, it has to. The wise man has to be back. He got power on the table. He needs his revenge.
Let's put it this way: Roman's going to go on a face run, and Heyman's going to go on that face run with him.
Yeah,
they set it up that way.
May I have your attention, sir and or madam?
Yes.
All right, next match. I'm going to go right for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest versus Gunther. Interesting match. Derek, who do you got?
Get ready for the ring general.
Yeah.
Look, this has been. I feel bad for Priest. I really do, because you'd see him and he seems like a really nice guy in interviews, and he's working hard, but this just hasn't been clicking. At least it doesn't feel like it has to me. And Gunther's just tailor-made for this. He's going to look real good when he becomes world champion. So I'm looking forward to it.
Bobo?
I'm taking Gunther as well. And I think it's because the Judgment Day gets involved. And I think, Finn Balor and them help. Don't not necessarily help Gunther, but somehow cost Priest the title. And
I'm going to get to my Judgment Day stuff when we talk about the other match. But
okay.
I was bringing up a good point here.
So I think they get involved and they somehow lose Priest or cost Priest the match. And I'm going with Gunther.
So I totally agree with you guys. I think Gunther wins. There's an interesting point that Derek made where you just said, I'm not feeling it with Damian Priest. I agree. And again, it's all three of us agree on this. It should be one title. That's the problem.
I'm done with that discussion. They just don't seem to want to do it. So if they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it.
That's what takes away from it, though. Don't you agree, Bob?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've said it before that I think there should be one champ and just have the champ go between both shows. Right. But what you could do is instead of having them show up on Raw and then on SmackDown, just pick who they're going to feud with. And for that month and a half, they can show up on that show. And then if they do win that feud, the next time they're feuding with somebody on the other show and they show up on that show for a month and a half until the next PLE. So, I mean, it's not that hard.
Can I tell you why I think they keep two titles right now, though?
Why?
So the one on SmackDown is the one that's like the immoral one, right? When you win that one, you're top. You're the face of the company. And that shouldn't change all that often. They got a world heavyweight title so they can cycle guys through and make them look like a top guy.
You're probably right.
I think that's the reason they have them now.
I guess. All right.
Let's say it's good.
So I think Gunther will be a great champ. I love Gunther. I think he's been amazing. I think they could do so much.
Chop everybody down.
Yeah.
You're nothing but street trash.
Come on, you can do a better German accent than that, Bob. Come on.
I wasn't trying to do a German accent.
I have to continuously say this to you peasants.
I'm just waiting for Kaiser to come back to be with him. I like Kaiser.
I love Kaiser. Kaiser, the little walk.
Oh God! If you want to go back and watch him when he enters the Royal Rumble,
that
is the funniest walk I've ever seen. That's so
and it's hilarious because people are coming out that were eliminated, and he's like, like he's disgusted to see them there next, in his presence.
He has his hand up like this. Yeah. Oh God, it's so good.
I still loved when William Regal, when he was in WCW, Lord Steven Regal, and he was like, bring his nose up, wipes his.
Didn't he put the arm behind the back?
Yes.
And then they keep the hand like this, like. Ugh.
Such a good wrestler.
So
interesting William Regal story. I guess I'll say it now real quick, Derek. Bob and I were talking about this. When Nitro came to El Paso, was the infamous match Regal versus Goldberg.
Oh, that was there. Oh, okay.
And that was the whole thing where Bischoff goes to Regal. I want you to have a 6-minute wrestling match with him. And Regal responds, he's like, there is so much I can do. I can't wrestle myself. And you go back Derek, and look, and it was brutal.
Derek, Nitro never came back to El Paso because
the
crowd just cheered for all the heels, and they cheered for the NWO, and they were booing all the faces. It was hilarious because Scott Hall comes out and he's like, did y'all come to see WCW? Boo!
And we didn't go. I could not get Bob to go.
I had football practice that day, man.
Who cares? The word started.
Didn't they have the NWO El Paso shirt? Like they had shirts just for El Paso.
I think they did afterwards. I don't think they did that
Oh,
day.
it was
Okay.
But it was hilarious because not only did did they cheer them, but it caught them off guard. Yeah. And so they started doing all their NWO sayings and everything, and they're just sitting there on the ropes, just like the NWO is just, and everybody too sweet.
Hey yo,
it was great because you had Hollywood there, you had Savage, you had them all.
Savage fought Hogan. Didn't they fight? That's crazy. All right, great. Next. So, gentlemen, I think you agree with me. These next two matches are awesome. I think these two should be like a double main event. Let's go with Rhea versus Liv Morgan. God, I know what both of you are going to say. Bob, go ahead.
No, Derek, you go, because I know you mentioned it earlier. You had some stuff to say about this one.
All right, let's hear it.
So I'll just get on to what I think is going to happen at the Judgment Day now.
Okay.
The Judgment Day is going to be under new management and ownership, and it's going to get some members out. It's going to get new members in.
Okay.
Liv's going to retain. She's going to win.
Okay.
Yes. That is how Dominic is going to make his what we all know is inevitable. It's not even a heel turn. He's just going to prove how much of a heel he really is.
Oh, it's
more Rhea's face turn that's going to make this official. So he is going to run off with Liv. The Liv is going to be shown. That group is those two are going to need security at all times. That heat is going to be massive. I can't wait for that. I'm looking very forward to it. And then I think what ends up happening is that match is first, and you'll find out that Dom and Liv are together, and Priest isn't going to like that at all. He's going to have a real problem with that. So he is then going to say, I'm going to go out, I'm going to retain my title right now, and when I get back here, you and I are going to handle this. And Finn's going to be sitting back, I think did you see him at the Money in the Bank? Did you see what he did?
No, what did he do?
There was this brief moment where before the match, he said something like he said it was not long, but it was kind of hard to catch. You had to be paying attention. But when Priest said, "All right, guys, here we go," and they all bumped his fist and said, "I'll do this on my own." Like Finn said something like, "You've always done it on your own, haven't you?" Or like made some smart remark. And so I could tell right then and there, it was something like that. I may not have gotten the words right, but Finn has been planning this for quite some time. He's going to give Priest the boot. He's going to lead the new Judgment Day, which will include Dominic, JD, Carlito, and Liv. Those will be the two new members.
Interesting. Okay.
And then Priest and Ray are going to be given the boot.
Okay, Bob, what do you think?
All right, I'm also going with Liv to win this because I do think Dominic costs Rhea the match. Because here's the thing. I was already thinking Liv was going to win and complete the revenge tour, but it's not a revenge tour unless she gets Dominic also.
Yeah.
So that's the ultimate one. And yeah, a couple weeks ago they showed him breaking her heart, and then this week they showed her burning all of his merchandise and stuff. But I think that we're going to find out that, we tricked you. This is, or Dominic's going to say, I realized I really do love you, or something like that, So that I think that's where it's going. And I agree with you. I think we're going to see a new Judgment Day after this. I also think the fact that Priest showed up at the end of the Gunther Finn Balor match, even though Gunther was attacking Finn, I think Finn will take that personally because he said he wanted to go alone.
Yep.
And so I think all that's going to play into it. But yeah, I got Liv winning this thing.
Okay. I agree with both of you on this one, but there's just, I don't know. Is this all just too easy?
No, it completes the revenge tour. It completes the revenge tour. It's everything Liv is going to go for. She now has the title. She now has her man. She now has her crew. And she also took her off television.
That is true. I just
that's
Mommy
it.
and I like Mommy and Dom. It was so good. But yeah, I think.
Oh, Dom and Liv are going to be just fine. Don't worry.
My God. It's like a complete.
Guy's the luckiest man on the planet.
He really is. And you know what's going to happen after this, don't you?
Yeah. What?
When Liv gives him the boot, because eventually that's going to happen too.
Yeah.
You know what happens then, right?
He's going to go crawling back to Mommy.
No, it's Tiffy time.
Ah. That's right. You said he was going to be like the he was going to be like
Eddie Gray.
What was the way you worded it? That
he's going to go on like shopping sprees with her, and we're like the salmon polos and the boat.
No, but you mentioned that he was going to be like a heel manager, kind of jumping around.
The Bobby Heenan of women.
He's going to be the heel boyfriend.
Yeah,
honestly, that rocks.
Yeah,
we're going to see him with Chelsea Green eventually.
Oh, that would be. Oh,
no, I can already see that.
She's turning face soon. I believe it.
She should.
She's too funny.
She should. All right.
I can just already see her. Dirty Dom, would you go talk to Nick Aldis?
I did go talk. We'll talk to him again.
Oh my God. Oh, imagine the tweets from Matt Cardona, Derek.
Oh, tremendous. I can't wait.
Oh my God. That would be so funny. All right. So then the final thing, one of the best stories they've done, CM Punk versus McIntyre, Drew McIntyre, with Seth Rollins as the referee. Derek, lead the way.
Gonna get his head kicked off. He is. Drew's gonna win. Drew is going to win, and it will be because Seth does something to cost it. Because I think Rollins and Punk are going to Mania.
Right, we talked.
They're going to Vegas. So you might as well. Punk has screwed over Drew McIntyre in just about every way possible. Drew's got to get a win. It would just look so bad if Drew lost this too. I think he's got to win.
Has Punk had a singles match in WWE?
Nope.
He's had one, yes. But
wait, he did.
It's the first live one.
With the Dirty Dom. He had a singles match.
Okay. Bob, what do you think?
I mean, Derek makes some really good convincing arguments there. Because I was leaning Punk until I heard that, but I'm gonna stick with Punk. I think I do think that Seth Rollins is going to. I don't think he's going to be fair in this, but I think he's going to. I think he's going to hit both of them. I think he's going to lay it out. I just think that Punk, they're going to try to start building him to get ready for WrestleMania, and I think to do that they need to start him off with a win. So, and plus he's got to get that bracelet back.
Aha! Yes, he does.
So I think he wins it, and I think what you do, because I think you see Drew wrestle with the bracelet on. and I think that after Punk gives him the what is it? Go to sleep.
Yeah.
The GTS, after he gives him that and pins him, he ends with taking the bracelet off and putting it on, and I think that's how you end that match.
Well, I have a different theory about Josh. You go, and then I'll give my take on where I think it might go.
I'm gonna say Punk.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying Punk is kind of like what Bob said. First of all, he's been injured. And I think for him to come back and have a loss, I don't know. I totally agree with you, Derek. Punk versus Rollins, Mania. I don't think this is the last time we see McIntyre and Punk. I think we're going to get this, a bunch of times probably.
I don't think it's going to be a bunch.
Not a bunch, but we have to figure out
one more.
Maybe
the Rollins.
One more time.
One more time?
It'll be one more time. You want to know where that happens?
Yeah, so,
Bad
Saudi
Blood.
Arabia?
What have they done at Bad Blood? Every
Hell in
Bad
a
Blood.
Cell. Hell in a Cell.
Yep. Wrap steel around him.
Could be, yeah.
And then that's when I think Punk gets his bracelet back.
Okay, that's.
I just don't know. I wonder if AJ Lee interferes to get her bracelet back.
She has shown, from what I've heard, no interest in returning. So I think we need to let that one go.
Okay. But I don't know. I think Rollins, what's he going to do? He's like the odd man out.
I know. I don't like him as a ref in this at all, honestly. I don't think
They didn't know what to do with him.
I think that's what it was. They needed something to do with him because he is one of their big names. They wanted him on the card, but he didn't have a feud going on with anybody at the moment.
No. And you don't want him in a triple threat with them because it'll take away from the rivalry.
Well, from what I've also heard, his knee is not fully healed yet.
That explains it.
Yeah, so I think they're just kind of like, it's not that it's definitely healed up, but it's not 100%. So I think they're just like, the less he interferes, the better. So that's probably why they put him in that role. But they're probably going to gear this up for, what is it, August? I mean, that's August to next April that's going to be a venomous feud. That's going to be really good.
Yeah, Punk can stay healthy.
Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And let's see. I told you, Bob, I thought Punk would get fired around SummerSlam. Well, we'll see. Let's see if he does an interview afterwards.
Josh is just so positive when it comes to CM Punk. I get it.
Derek's on my side with this, Bob.
No, I get it. But you see, Derek dislikes him for different reasons. You dislike him because you're an AEW fan.
No, I don't like him because he says stupid stuff.
Yeah,
you don't like him.
Where would he saying all that?
Exactly.
I mean, it's just a matter of time.
He's always said
happens.
He's always said stupid stuff, and you were excited when he came back. Your specific thing was it was AEW because you've taken
he hurt Tony Khan's feelings.
Yeah, he's taken the side of AEW on this one when they're just as much to blame.
Yeah, but he started it. He started it. All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
No, I think that's it.
I mean, that's a wrap on SummerSlam. We'll see how many of these we got right. We got football season around the corner. Again,
that reminds me, Derek. I was telling Josh earlier because he didn't think that you could do DraftKings in California, but I did look it up. You are able to do DraftKings, and I was looking it up on my app. I can create a 3-man league and make free contests, so that way we can do some, we could do some fantasy football, and I think it'd be a little bit more competitive there because if we do a traditional draft, we'll all have super teams, but this way we have a salary cap, so that makes it a little bit more difficult, and every week everybody's salaries change. So it makes it a little bit harder and a little bit more strategy and stuff like that. So
I'm going to drive myself mad with that. Oh, dear Lord.
It's fun. I have fun building those teams, but it's real easy to build the team on the app. So
nice.
We can do that, and we can just keep track of the leaderboard and report our whoever wins each week. So I think that'll be kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's right around the corner too, isn't it? Oh,
yeah. They've already got the first week up, and they've already got salaries for the players. Now, obviously, they'll drop players off as people get cut and stuff like that. But they've already got the salaries set for everybody for that first week.
But herein lies the problem for Bob. His football season doesn't start until the end of next month. His real football season. I mean, this will do fine. As we go through the motions.
I can't wait. There was something else I was going to tell you guys. No, it just, it was something about any future. It wasn't about you guys. I just, again, want to remind everyone to hit the subscribe button and to like our video. And also, we've put on different, what do you call it, Bob? Tabs, where you can go right to the subject that you like. So if you like wrestling, go right to it. If you want to know about DC and Marvel and Comic-Con, you can go there. All right, so why don't we finish up? Bob, where can we find you?
You can find me over on YouTube. You can find me on Critic List, and you can find me on X. We'll have all of our social media in the description below as well.
Okay. Derico, where can we find you?
I'm going to go age myself by watching that Mini Driver Penguin and stay older than I already am, and that would be why I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook.
All right. And I'm on pretty much everything: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. I'm the family man of the Valley. I'm a realtor here in Southern California. If you want to find a house, give me a call. All right, gentlemen. Well, we will go ahead and end the show. It was a great show. Thank you, everybody, for watching and liking. And we will talk to you real soon. Have a great evening.
Thanks,
All right, you guys take care.
All right. Bye.